All right, face it, at some point we are all going to have to make some big decisions in our lives, decisions to protect maybe the loved ones that we love most in our families.
That's right. We're joined by Sanford Mall, a certified elder law attorney with the Holistic Elder Care Law Firm. First, thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So you practice holistic law. What does that mean exactly?
Well, just like a holistic doctor, we'll look at more than just the symptom. We look at the person's entire planning needs, their care circumstances, and how to put things together so that we can get a best outcome legally, financially, tax issues, care planning. We put the whole package together so people end up with a better outcome.
And I'm learning a lot about this as I sort of journey through this path alongside my folks. Different issues are coming up. So when you say holistic, you really are trying to look at a lot of these issues that individually are important, but then collectively one may affect three other things.
Well, that's right. That's right. When people come in and they have some specific questions or specific desires about what they want to get done, generally speaking, the real outcome is they want peace of mind.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that their loved ones are protected, that their wishes can be honored, and that things will happen the way that they ultimately want, and keep the court and the other parts of the state out of their lives.
Absolutely. So what are the objectives of elder care planning?
Elder care planning is designed to be able to honor and respect an elder when they can make choices for themselves. They put a plan together. That way they can maintain control when the time comes, when it matters most. And obviously when that happens, that helps provide the entire family with peace of mind.
So what kind of warning signs should we be aware of that we may be seeing?
Sure. Well, you know, there are certain things like, for example, falls, very common problem, diagnoses of declining mental capacity, sometimes hospitalization for things like malnutrition, dehydration. All of these things lead toward at least the concern for whether or not somebody needs more assistance. And of course, that's the time that if the planning isn't already in place, you know, run, don't walk. And if planning is in place, get it reviewed, make sure that it's kept up to date.
Okay, so how do we get the conversation started?
Yeah, that's a tough one. And often what we say is, look, you got to come from a position of love and respect and caring. It's not about trying to force people to do things that they don't want to do. It's about empowerment, and it's about recognizing that when the planning is done, it gives the person the opportunity to make sure that what they want to have happen actually does happen.
And so when we think of the legal documents, what's the top of the list?
Sure. Well, when someone is incapacitated, the most important things are powers of attorney. Legal and financial powers of attorney, making sure that people have access and control of the assets, and also to be able to make legal decisions on behalf of their loved ones, stay out of the probate court, and medical powers of attorney in order to make those kinds of critical decisions if and when that time comes. Again, all of this is geared toward keeping things in control with the family, with the people that you love and respect, and that way you can make sure that the things that you want to have happen really do happen.
And their wishes.
And their wishes.
Yeah.
And when people are, you know, people pass away, of course, everybody knows about the will, last will and testament. Very, very important document. But staying out of probate court is usually one of the more important things that people want to accomplish, and that can be done mostly with revocable living trust planning.
Okay. Excellent
Great
information.
advice.
And for more information and to schedule a meeting to start your planning, visit the website, theeldercarelawfirm.com, theeldercarelawfirm.com.
We'll be right back.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.